Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Shark Island is an odd game where one person is playing the shark and the other people are playing like the residents or the beachgoers, if you will. And it's this weird hide-and-seek game. A lot of things just bring you out of it. So, like, for example, the shark spends coins to do stuff. Like, why does a shark have money? Makes no sense at all. But you're playing this like hide-and-seek. Oh, I saw a fin, but it's just a dolphin. It's not the shark. I don't know. I want to play a game where the shark is going after somebody. Ravensburger put out a Jaws game. I think that game works a lot better. That's kind of based on the movie license than what you're doing here. There isn't a lot that fits in with what you're doing, the mechanisms itself that make you feel like a shark game. Like, for example, you go into this part of the game where you're playing blackjack, but instead of playing to 21, you're playing to 23. That doesn't make me feel like I'm hunting sharks or I'm this powerful shark trying to eat people. It just pulls me right out of it. Now, the artwork, the buoy system, like, all that is really cool. Even some like the binoculars and like looking and seeing a dolphin, that's kind of thematic a little bit. But the game is a complete disconnect for me. It also has a problem with the cardinal sin. There's a lot of downtime for the shark player in this game. And the shark player ends up feeling more like a DM than he does a participating player in this game. Way too much downtime. There isn't a lot about this game that I actually enjoy. I like the theme. I like the art. I like the tiles, the components are nice, but there isn't a lot about the gameplay or the mechanisms that I like. I don't like it when a West game puts in poker, or you see these 21 or blackjack that's included in these games. I don't really like that. Get a little more creative. For me, absolute Purge. Honestly, guys, this is a boring game. Go play the Jaws game. It's so much better than this. So here's Shark Island. You can see a very striking cover here. I do like the font used and the shark jumping out. This one also comes with a limited edition promo tile inside. Weirdly enough, it says 14 plus on it. I think you can play this as young as 7 or 8 possibly, but probably due to the content, they put that on there. I'm going to set aside a rule book. We'll take a look at this in a few minutes. You're going to see some really neat things in here. Like here's a buoy that you put the dice in, and you can use this to roll. You're going to have the order of play. This will be the screen for the shark person. This is very nice cardboard. This is not one of your cheaper things that they kind of put out. And everything you need here for the shark player is going to be right there. Excellent. It's going to be, this is cardboard, even though it just sits on there. You can see it's very color. I like this a lot. It looks like the butt. But you'll be paying, it has all the rules here for the combat for the shark player. Trying to get 23. These dice are pretty neat. They look like they are stickers, but they are not. They're on here pretty good. I like these dice. Going to get a number of chits that are very thick with different things on them. And even though they all kind of mean the same thing, you can see a school of fish, a dolphin, a marlin. So they went the extra mile of not just putting the same thing on all of them. You're going to get these re-roll discs that will be in here. All kinds of things. Cubes that you're going to have. These will be the different players with different player powers that they're going to have. Real nice cardboard. Going to have some different things on here. They all play a little bit differently. This will be the countdown of the great white shark, his powers, and what you're trying to do here. You're going to get, these will be what the terror tiles that the shark player will be earning. Very thick, and they have the different things on it that match the cards. And you're going to have these little tiddlywinks. They're okay. And the cards themselves, they're going to have really nice back. I like the feel of these cards quite a bit. And the backs are very thematic. So they went the extra mile with that. And you can see these will be the scoring cards for the shark player. And then the shark, you can kind of see the same pictures used over and over again. But the text, and it has like this gritty look to it here. It looks like it's fading. These are going to be like number cards. They're okay. Not a lot of artwork on them in general. But you're going to get a lot of cards, and he'll be the cards for the actual players, which has the colors, the pictures, and a few icons on them. Everything works really great. I like the insert with this. The tiles that you're getting are very, very thick. Very easy to use. Very big. I like the artwork. It kind of has that old kind of timey look to it. The number of terror on the back are hidden. But you can see that it looks really neat. You can see different phases that people would be at the docks or the beach. Very cool. And I like these quite a bit. And they look really good on the table. So the components are excellent in my opinion. This is the rulebook for Shark Island. It has kind of like a linen finish to it. I like it quite a bit. You're going to get the components here, but it's not going to have pictures of them. But it is going to break down all of the components over here. So it does a really good job of that. You can kind of see where everything is. So it's a nice little touch to it. And quite a few pages. You can see the rule book is very big and they take their time. Here's winning and losing, what you're trying to do, and the setup of the game over there. And then a picture, a double feature of the setup. A lot of care went into this. Playing the game, working out with phases, not a lot of pictures, a lot of words, not a lot of pictures, but it goes through all the phases. I found it very easy to understand. I didn't really have a whole lot of problems. This is going to be the combat. It's probably the most convoluted part of the game that you're going to have, and it continues to go through. On the back, a little bit of extra rules you may miss. I found the rulebook to be pretty good. You're probably going to need a good 20, 30 minutes to get through this. I found it a lot easier to learn once you had everything out and kind of moving things around. So one player would be the shark, and the other players will play the hunters of the shark. And there are quite a few of them in this game. Each one's going to play a little bit differently and have a different power. In order for these guys to win, they're going to want to kill the shark and get his health all the way down. You can see the 4-player starts here, 3-player, 2-player. So that's what you're trying to do. The shark is trying to accomplish one of these goals. At the beginning of the game, he will pick one of these, either have 5 mayor tokens, have 12 total tokens, 5 resort, or 5 national. Now, in order to get to 5 national and win, you have to have at least 9 tokens, but then 5 of them need to be of this type. And this will be what you're getting. You're going to be earning these terror tokens as the game goes on, but they're going to have different things on the other side of them, either resort, close, or the mayor. So you need 9 total to win, and then if you have one of these, it's going to be 5 of what's listed, or the one that says 12 total. So that's how you're going to win and lose. So here are the tiles that will make up. There'll be a number of these put out based on the number of players and some cards that will come out. But I want to show you how they kind of work. So you can earn up to 2 to 4 terror. So if the shark player is able to accomplish this, you would flip this over and say, okay, 3 terror. But this one would have 2 to 4. It'd be 2. So you never know exactly how many is going to be there, just kind of a range. Then what you're going to have here is a number of fin tokens this is going to generate. So you're going to put 4 fin tokens out on this. And this one will show the maximum number of confirmed sightings that can be used on this island. So this gives you a little bit of information as you're playing the game, and the shark player how much he can possibly win. The players are also going to have this, where it has their health that they're going to have, how many dice, and how many fight cubes that they're going to have, and you're going to utilize these cubes for it. And each one will have a power. Each time you defeat the shark, you do an extra wound. You reveal fin tokens in adjacent areas with successful search dice. When you find a dolphin in the search phase, you do 1 wound to the shark. Oh, that's the shark one. And then each time you purchase a hunter's card, you draw 2, keep 1, you place the other card back on top or the bottom, keeping the card information secret. So all of these are going to work a little bit differently, and each hunter in the game can choose one of these people to be. The first thing you do in a turn is you're going to draw a calendar card from the deck, and this will tell you how many people tiles to put out. So let's say we're playing a 3-player game. You have 1 for each person, and then I had a +1 on it, so you're going to add another tile to the game. It will also say discard all beach tiles after the shark collects their fin tokens. Do not replace these tiles if no tiles remain place 1. So these will just have different things that will be going on. Each round of the game you will draw 1 and do what it says. Then the players will take some false fins and put them out based on this. So this one's going to have 4 to place on it. This one's going to have 3. You just kind of put these out there. This one will have 3. And these are just randomized out there. And then this one will have 2. So you kind of know how many fake fins there will be on this location. Now the shark player is always going to have 2 fake fins, these, and the shark token himself behind the screen that he can utilize on this board. So these will be set aside. At the beginning of the shark's turn, he will draw the top shark card and put this in his hand. So this one says play any time to cancel a hunter's special ability. And there's a whole bunch of these that you can get. This one says play after successfully terrorizing the island to increase the terror gain by 1. Play in the shark phase to gain 3 coins. Play in the calendar phase after the island tiles have been placed to discard 1 or 2 island tiles and replace with the top 2 of the deck. So these are just cards that he can utilize and play as the game progresses. As the game progresses, the shark will earn these coins and will have these, and he can spend these coins at this time in order to do his shark actions. So you can give up 2 of these coins if he wanted to add a fake fin anywhere on the board that he wanted to. He can give up 4 coins to draw another shark card. That's another way he can get more shark cards in his hand. He can give up 4 coins in order to heal. So as his health goes down, he can heal, but he can only heal back up to the last red one. So if he was on 5, he couldn't heal up to 8. He can only go up to 7. So he can spend 4 coins to do that, or he can spend 8 of these to roll the terrorize dice. He would roll these dice, and if he was to roll any of the sharks, he could add a terrorize token that will help him for his in-game requirements. Now, the shark player will be able to add any fins that he has to the board, keeping in mind he's going to put the shark secretly out at a location, but the hunters won't know which location the shark is out at. Then the hunters will take turns. Each one will roll the die, and this will be the actions they can take for the turn. Now, if they have earned or have any reroll tokens, they can definitely use that to reroll the dice. Otherwise, they're kind of stuck with what they have. If they happen to roll a shark, the shark player will gain a coin. They roll 3 of these sharks on all 3 dice, then the shark player will immediately get a terrorize token. If they were get buoys, 3 of these buoys were rolled, then they would immediately wound the shark and move towards their in-game condition. Otherwise, they can perform 2 of the actions that they roll on the dice. Most popular action is probably going to be the binoculars. This allows them to take one of these fins and look and see if it's a shark or not. So in this case, it was a dolphin. That might trigger a power or a card or something. So that would be used 1. The binoculars allows you to flip over a tile and gives you a little bit of information. As the game progresses, you may be able to take wounds here that would be tracked with a cube. So if you wanted to heal that wound, you could spin one of these orange hammers and you could heal one of your wounds. The buoy itself is a wild icon, so it can be whatever you want it to be. In addition, any of the icons, it doesn't matter which one, you can keep and gain a reroll token instead of doing something on the board that I've already explained. At this point, if you have your ships out on the board, you can decide if you want to stay here, if you want to go to port and heal. So this could be a way, if you don't have any damage left and you've been completely damaged, you have to go repair. Otherwise, you can stay at a certain location, and everybody will make that decision as they're going along, where they want to stay or where they want to go. Now, you move into the search phase, and each player has a number of die that will be listed on their character card. So Willie has 3, where Harlan only has 2. Then that tells you how many dice that you're going to roll to see if you're successful. If you roll a buoy or a binocular at your location, then you can turn over a tile and see if you found the shark or not. If the shark is not found on the island, then he will terrorize, but if he is found, then you will go to a combat phase. And anybody who's at this location, let's say both these guys are at the location, will enter the combat phase. Now I'm going to move this around so we can check out and see how that is played. On the combat phase, each player will be given 1 face down card and 1 face up card. Some of the cards will do different things, like the harpoon may discard this card and 1 face up card. You got 3, must hold or immediately take another card. And what you're trying to do is get as close to 23 as possible. So it's just like playing blackjack. In this case, they have 12. So they might say, hit me. And you take the top card of the deck, and now they're at 22. So you're trying to get as close to 23 as possible. If the active hunters defeat the shark, they do 1 damage, and there may be additional stuff through card play. If the shark has yet to terrorize, it may not do so if defeated by 1 or more active hunters. Active hunters lose to the shark, take 1 damage to their craft. And if they happen to have a shark card in their tableau, they would take an additional damage. And that's kind of how combat's going to work. Everybody's going to play that. Now, if you happen to be at a location that doesn't have anybody, then the shark can terrorize. He'll flip this over, and he would grab that many tokens from the supply that will help work towards his in-game conditions. Then, at the last phase, it's called the dusk phase. You check for winning conditions to see if anybody has won. Otherwise, you repeat everything you just did. Who should play this game? I cannot recommend this game very much. From the hide-and-seek mechanisms to the blackjack, I don't see how this brings anybody into this idea that, let's be honest, it's a Jaws game, right? The shark is going after the people, and it's not called Jaws, but that's what we're doing here without the boats, right? So, I don't know that it brings anybody in. I think there are better games with this theme that will bring you in. I don't feel like the mechanisms are fun. Total miss for me. One of my favorite game designers, one of my favorite board game companies, and there's nothing here. Do not try this one out. Absolute purge for me.